Welcome back to the Scramble Drill podcast, where we are here to talk NFL football, specifically Week 13 of the NFL football. Landon, how are we doing today?
It's amazing, Ben, how much more you enjoy a Sunday when you have a good fantasy Sunday. When you have a bad fantasy Sunday, even though I love football, I just do not enjoy it as much.
I had a really bad fantasy Sunday.
I'm locked in.
I texted y'all in the group chat. The 4 o'clock window was one of the worst 4 o'clock windows I've had in recent memory.
You had a rough one.
It was terrible.
Ben, it's one of the worst I've ever seen.
We'll talk about it for real life.
It's one of the worst I've ever seen.
I was frustrated on Sunday after. 1 o'clock was okay. Like, it was fine. I was doing pretty well. You know, most of my leagues, Devontae Adams scoring 2 touchdowns. I'm like, all right, awesome. That's great. Then the shadow of 4 o'clock hit. And you would think, I've got, Justin Jefferson's going at 4 o'clock. Ooh, dude, you got Josh Allen going at 4 o'clock. Bro, you've got Justin Herbert going at 4 o'clock. Like, oh, dude, this is awesome. No. No.
In our main league, you had Allen, Jefferson, and Boswell, and you were in the negatives for a lot of that game.
Yeah. Yeah, Josh Allen had a pick, and Justin Jefferson did not have a catch in the first half. And then Chris Bodwell has one extra point.
Dude. Crazy. Anyways.
I'm salty about it.
I'm excited. This was a great week of football. Pumped about it.
We are recording this on Monday, so we won't have the Patriots-Giants game. I am not imagining there's going to be much to discuss there. There shouldn't be much to discuss. The Patriots should handle business, but you never know. It's the NFL.
Yeah, and it's prime time. They don't get a lot of those, so we'll see. We'll see.
But I'm imagining the Patriots win that one relatively easily. All right. Thanksgiving Day. Boy, Thanksgiving was a good one. We had a good one on. We said this before Thanksgiving. That said this is a great slate of games. It did not disappoint at all. Packers, Lions.
Awesome.
Packers win 31-24. You've been saying it, Landon. Go ahead and say it. You know what you want to say.
Go ahead and say about the Lions.
Well, man, I was going to credit to the Packers defense, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. I want to talk about the Packers first, and then we'll get to the Lions. Dude, this was a huge win by the Packers. I mean, this was their season was quietly, very quietly, slipping away a little bit. They were on a roll. Remember, they were 4-1-1. They had the weird game against Dallas, but they got away with a tie, and they were rolling, and it was kind of slipping, and then they absolutely put the hammer down offensively on the Lions again, just as they did in week 1. I got this question. Is there a player in the NFL we know less about whether he's good or not than Jordan Love?
You could make the no. I was going to try to make an argument about a Michael Penix or somebody, but they don't have as much experience as Jordan Love does.
No. Jordan Love is an enigma. He will play football in a way, even when they win, that you're like, my gosh, the Packers are winning in spite of Jordan Love. And then he'll go out there, nationally televised game in Detroit on Thanksgiving, and he throws 4 tubs. How many yards does he throw for? He throws for 234, so not crazy, but 4 tubs, plays flawless football. I cannot. I just don't know. I do not know.
QBR at 94.
Whether he is the guy or not. Yeah, QBR 94, 124 rating. But this was a monster win by the Packers.
In Detroit,
I said, standalone, Thanksgiving in Detroit. And, man, this was a big one. This division is crazy. We're going to talk about the division, obviously, later on with the Friday game. But, man, they needed this one. Push the Lions to 7-5. Man, this was a great one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was remarkably impressed with Jordan Love. He has had so many question marks. Granted, they've had a lot of injuries. But still, I was impressed to see that for him. I mean, what can you say about the Packers defense other than Micah Parsons is so... I mean, that might be the best trade I've ever seen. Might be the best trade I've ever seen.
He was all over the field. I mean, all over the field.
And granted, Jared Goff is a fully stationary target. But still.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
On the Lions side, you know how to beat them.
Yeah, I mean, I got to do a little bit of funny math with this one because they actually did go over 100 yards.
Yeah.
But it was a Jared Goff 24-yard run. Like, that's as fluky gets, right? So if you take that away, again, their running backs and receivers don't hit 100 yards, and they lose. They are 7-0 when they rush for 100 yards. They are 0-5 when they don't.
Statistically, Jared really Goff was phenomenal on the stat sheet.
Yeah. Yeah, and overall, I don't think he played that bad. No. There was a fourth down they didn't convert. There were just plays that he didn't. There were things he left out there on the field that they needed in the end, and they didn't get them. And
losing Amon-Ra early.
Amon-Ra going down. Yeah. Amon-Ra going down early. We talked about it week 1 with Xavier Worthy and the Chiefs. Like, it is a different thing going into the week knowing a guy's out versus thinking he's going to be there and then him leaving early in the first quarter. Those are two different things, and it is a shock to the system. I'm sure they had a large part of their game plan ready for Amon-Ra. Like, oh man, we got these plays, we got these packages. You know, when we're at a 3rd and 8, we're going to draw up this play. It's going to Amon-Ra here. When we're 2nd and 1 and we got a chance to take a shot, we're going to Amon-Ra here, and he wasn't there, and that throws everything off.
And Jameson Williams is good.
This is the NFL, and you got to find.
Had a good game.
Oh, Jameson Williams was great. Yes, 7 for $144 in a tub. Like, yeah, he was outstanding. But at the end of the day, it's the NFL. You got to find ways.
Yeah,
you got to find ways to win, even when guys go down. And it's not easy, but you got to do it, and they weren't able to. So, look, man, 7-5 is not. They're not in a great spot. They're in a good spot. They're not in a great spot.
They're not a. I haven't checked the standings. I don't believe they're a lock for the playoffs right now, are they?
No, they're outside of the playoffs.
They're outside. Yeah, they are.
They're outside of the playoffs. They got a chance now. Like, they are, I guess, technically 2.5 back of San Francisco. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They hold no tiebreakers against Green Bay. So, I actually think shockingly enough, we're going to get into this. I think the team they have the most ability to run down is actually the 1 seed, Chicago Bears. I think that's the team they could most likely knock out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because they've already beat them once. They get to play them again, so they could hold the tiebreaker, and they're 2 games ahead. So I guess San Francisco's a game and a half ahead. Yeah, a game and a half. But yeah, man, they're in a good spot, not a great spot. I don't feel great if I'm a Lions fan right now.
And I don't love my chances once I get in, given the talent around them and just how things have gone. No,
I mean, this team has shown an ability to consistently lose to good teams.
Yeah.
And like this one, the Packers handled this game. Like, the score was close and it was never out of reach. Like, it's not like they were down big and just came back late. No, it was always kind of in the balance, but I never felt like the Lions were going to win this game at any point. Like, the Packers kind of handled this one from start to finish.
Yeah. I mean, I've said this a couple times before. They're one of those teams that it's weird to describe. They're a very physical team, but at the same breath, they're not a very physical team. Like, they can come in and push and bully people around, but they can also very easily get bullied and get pushed around, if that makes sense.
We've seen it both times. We've seen it both times when they've played the Packers. And it's not like the Packers ran for 300 yards or anything. I mean, Josh Jacobs was effective on the ground, but I mean, they ran for 125 yards, but it felt different. It felt like Detroit could not get stops when they needed it. And also, I mean, we can talk about, they got some rough news. They thought their center from last year was going to come back, and he failed his physical.
Yeah.
And he's not able to come back. What's his name? Ragnarok?
It's not Agnew. Agnow. Tyler. Is it Tyler?
No. Their center.
No, I know who you're talking about. Dang it, I can't think of his name.
Frank. I think it's Frank Ragnarok or Frank
Ragnow. Frank Ragnow.
Ragnow. Okay.
He's young still. Like, he's only 30, but I think he retired because of injuries, and he has some kind of hamstring injury.
Yeah,
which is
I
why
mean, he failed his physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe they get him back next year, which would be a huge boost if they can, but it's not going to happen this year.
Nope.
All right. Personally, a shocker to me, I was stunned that this happened. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28.
Another great game.
This was an awesome game to watch. Absolutely phenomenal. Dak Prescott had the interception early and then came back and played phenomenal football the rest of the way. CeeDee Lamb is awesome. George Pickens is awesome. They do everything they need to win this game. And they do.
For my money, right now, Dak would definitely get my third place vote for MVP. Dude, he might get my second. I'm not kidding.
I probably
Dak
would put him second, to be honest.
Cooking. He is absolutely cooking right now. And like I said this last week, this is the first time in his career I watch the game and I think they're winning because of him. Like, in the past, when he's put up a bunch of stats, it's come in seasons where they weren't great. It was a lot of like Joe Burrow last year type numbers where
he's throwing for 600 yards a game at one point a few years ago.
Right, high scoring. Or you have seasons like his rookie year where they went 13-3, but he was just a game manager, right? He was just Ezekiel Elliott, offensive line, defense, see if we can figure it out. Dude, they're winning games because of him. Like, that defense, yes, Quinnen Williams has changed it around. Like, they have been way better the last 2 weeks or last 3 weeks or whatever. I know they gave up 28 this game. But, man, they're winning because of him. He is carrying them. He is putting them in tough spots. I mean, that second drive, he throws the pick the first drive. That second drive, they were in third and long 3 straight times. And he pick it up, and then had the great second half, and he's playing great. There's no other way to say it. The man is playing unbelievable.
Yeah, Dallas is, and credit to Dak, but they're playing complimentary football all around. I feel like you mentioned the defense.
Yeah,
we know the defense isn't going to be incredible. They're not going to be locked down or anything, but the offense and the defense I feel like are playing so well together. Is the defense is not breaking, and the offense is picking them up where they have to pick them up. So it's a winning formula right now. They're on the outside looking in at the playoffs, but they're not out of it by any means.
So, Ben, I text this in the group chat. Ben, have you ever seen the movie Casablanca?
It's a classic. I've heard of it many times, but I have never actually watched it.
It is one of my favorites. I watched it again this weekend. I think it's the greatest movie ever made. Okay?
Oh, okay.
There's a line in that movie.
Different podcast, I guess.
There's a line in that movie that has been running through my mind ever since I watched it this weekend about the Dallas Cowboys. Someone in that movie is talking to the protagonist of the film, and they're introducing the plot at the beginning, and he says, I got a lot of friends in Casablanca, but because you despise me, you're the only one I trust. Cowboys fans, you got a lot of friends out there. You got friends in the media. You got friends in probably where you work. A lot of Cowboys fans out there. You're all friends and you're all flying high right now. But because I despise you, I'm the only one you can trust. Listen to me. I have seen this movie. I'm 27 years old. I've seen this movie now 26 times. This is the part of the season where you get your hopes up. It happens every year somehow. Never fails. Lots of times, Stephen A. is right about this. Lots of times it happens around Thanksgiving. Am I wrong, Ben?
No, you're right.
Am I wrong? Dude, it's a long road ahead to make the playoffs. It's not impossible. But this does not mean you are a lock to make the playoffs. This is, you're a game. You got the tie, which kind of helps, kind of hurts, right? But man, this NFC is so stacked. Like I said, I just said that the team I feel most likely to miss the playoffs that is currently in is the 1 seed. You know how many things have to go right for Dallas to get in the playoffs this year?
I mean,
if they would have been playing this way all season, yes, they would be a playoff team. But they dug themselves such a hole that I don't know if they're going to be able to climb out of it. I really doubt it.
No,
this game next week against Detroit is a huge one. Huge one.
On Thursday Night Football in Detroit. Detroit's got back-to-back primetime big games. So we'll see. But
yeah,
we also were talking about, and I guess I don't say this to try to bolster the hope. I guess they're going to have to basically win out more or less to do it in this NFC. But they're 2/3 of the way through their quote-unquote gauntlet of Eagles, Cowboys, Lions. We thought their season was over. Guess what?
Yeah,
they're
Eagles, Chiefs, Lions.
Yeah, Eagles, Chiefs, Lions. Sorry about that. But they're 2-0 so far through that. If they get to 3-0, it lightens up after that. So
yeah, I guess what I'll say is I feel similar to how I felt about the Ravens like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I'm not sure if the Cowboys can make a wild card in the NFC. It's just too loaded. Could they catch the Eagles, though? Maybe. We're going to talk about the Eagles soon. They could. Eagles are 8-4. Cowboys are 6-5-1. I think that's more likely than them making a wild card. I'll say that.
Yeah, that's fair. I could see it. Honestly, I don't have anything necessarily against the Cowboys, so I don't have a problem with it. You would, but...
Yeah, they would break my heart if they made the playoffs. But I genuinely think their only path is the division. I don't think the wild card's going to work out for them. San Francisco's too good. Green Bay's too good. I think Detroit's too good, even though we just talked about them and their struggles. I mean, this is a big one. This is a big one coming up next Thursday.
And you're not going to catch the Rams, who we'll talk about later either. But, yeah.
No.
On the Chiefs side, where do we begin? I mean, Patrick Mahomes played a great game. 260, 4 tubs, no turnovers.
So
I don't know, man.
So two things are true. Well, Mahomes was excellent. Here's number one. They're just not good enough. It is that simple. At a certain point, if you're 3-3, you could have run into some bad luck. Maybe you played a tough schedule. Maybe you had an injury in a game, whatever. If you're 4-4, same thing. Dude, once you're 6-6, this is kind of who you are. And they're 5-1 at home. They can't win on the road. And here's the thing. So that's one thing that's true. The second thing that's true is this. The last 3 years, Ben, they've been right in how they've constructed their team. What do I mean? They went where defense was the strength of their team. This year, it's kind of flipped back to offense like it was when they had Tyreek and Kelsey in his prime and all that. They were right to go all defense. Because if you're constructing a team, what you want is, hey, let's just make the defense the strength of our team because we know 15, when he has the ball in his hands, he's just going to figure out a way to just do enough if our defense can hold this team under 20. And that's what they've done the last 3 years, and it's worked. This year, dude, they can't get off the field on third down.
And they
absolutely can't. They can't.
In that last drive, they had a chance to get the ball back to the offense, and Dallas just said no.
Yeah.
Dallas just kept them off the field.
They cannot get off the field. 3 times this year, Mahomes has led a fourth quarter comeback, and the Chiefs have given the lead back up and lost the ball game. 3 different times. man, it's hard. It's frustrating. I'm sure. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I kind of am, but I'm not actually a Chiefs fan. But it's frustrating when you're pulling for them because, yeah, I'm not on the message boards. They cannot get off the field, and at this point, dude, you gotta win out, right? You gotta win out.
Pretty close because you're gonna. I mean, the Broncos are running away with the division right now. I don't even know if the Broncos are that good.
Yeah,
but they are running away from it. You're still 2 games back from the Chargers, who, as it sit, hold the tiebreaker over them. Obviously, they get another shot at them, but as it sits, hold the tiebreaker. I don't know if third place in this. At the beginning of the season, I thought third place in this division could make the playoffs. I don't know if that happens.
I'm looking at the standings, and here's the thing. I think their only chance is they need to beat Houston this week, and you need the Jags to win the division because the Jags hold the tiebreaker over you. If you beat Houston, you will hold the tiebreaker over the Texans and the Colts. So that's 2 teams. And you could hold the tiebreaker over the Chargers if you beat them the second time and a few other things happen, right? So that gets them to where, because one of the problems they're running into is if they lose to Houston, one, it's just over. But Jacksonville holds the tiebreaker over them. Right now, the Chargers do. The Bills hold the tiebreaker over them. So a lot of the teams they're trying to catch, if you finish with the same record, they make it and you don't because they hold the tiebreaker. They need some of these teams who they hold the tiebreaker over to be in the wild card mix. They're going to have to win out.
They play Houston.
They have to win out, Ben.
They play Houston this week. They have to win that game because Houston right now is ahead of them in the playoff hunt. You have to get the tiebreaker over them.
They have to win.
For sure. I was going to mention the win over Indy, especially with Indy losing to the Texans. Much, much bigger win than it was last week because now there's a chance.
Win. Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to have to catch them record-wise, which is possible because Indy has a rough finish to their season schedule-wise.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as you can't... Basically, I think I'm with you. You have to win out, and you have to beat Houston this week because I've got stuff to talk about on Buffalo's end for sure, but I think Buffalo's going to get a wild card. If Buffalo right now, as it sits, is the 7 seed, that's not good for the Chiefs because you're not going to get in over Buffalo. Buffalo's not going to lose enough games for the Chiefs to catch them.
But the thing is, Ben, we can say all this, we can talk standings, we can do all this. They just might not be good enough. They just might not be able.
And rest of the season.
There were plays that they left out there that could have won them the game this week. The Rashee Rice drop on 3rd and 8. The Mahomes missing Rashee coming across the field on 3rd down. Like, there were plays that could have been made. I mean, good gosh, how many times are your DBs going to hold Cowboys players? I think 5 first downs off pass interference and holding in the second half. Didn't see a lot of tweets about that, by the way. But at the end of the day, how many times are you going to hold somebody? How many times are you going to get pass interference? Like, they can't get off the field. And it doesn't matter how good Patrick Mahomes is. If he's on the bench, he's not doing anything. So this will be one against Houston. Man, this is a playoff game. And the scary part is, this past week against Dallas, that was a playoff game. Period. And they lost it.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I don't know.
I mean, some people are saying it's a return to the mean, where like they went like 11-0 or 12-0 in one-score games last year, and now they're 1-5 or whatever. I don't know. I'm kind of with you. I don't think it's a return to the mean. I think last year the team knew how to win. They had the defense to win, and they had 15 to know how to close those close games out. This year, they don't really have their offense is much better, but it's not dominant like it was in 2019, 2020. And their defense is good, but it's not dominant like it has been the past 2 years. So when you've kind of lost the identity on both sides, they really don't know who they are as a team. And several years ago, like a couple years ago, or even last year, this game coming up against the Texans, I would think in my head, oh, there's no way the Chiefs lose that. That like the defense is going to be good. They'll figure out something in the end, even with a good Texans defense. The Texans defense is good enough. It sounds blasphemous. I think the Texans defense is good enough to beat the Chiefs, and that's not an indictment on Mahomes or anything. Yeah. That's just where the Chiefs are, to where like CJ Stroud doesn't have to be Superman to go out there and beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, of course they are. Ben, they're 6-6. It's not like last year. The Chiefs at this time were whatever they were. They were 11-1, and people were talking about how bad they were. That was frustrating to me. It's not this year. They're 6-6. What are you talking about? They're a game ahead of the Dolphins. They're tied with the Steelers. This is what I mean. Seriously, this is where we're at. Yeah. They might just not be good enough. Now, could they flip it on? Andy Reid's talking about tickling everybody's tonsils the rest of the season, so I don't know what's going to happen. They could flip it on, yeah, but also they could not, man.
But why haven't?
Also, this could be over.
If you could flip it on, why haven't you done it in these close games against the Broncos?
That's what I'm saying.
Must-have it games against the Cowboys. Like you were losing to the Colts, and the only reason you lost to the Colts or beat the Colts is because Daniel Jones could not move the ball in the second half. It wasn't like Patrick Mahomes stormed back in the second half.
Right. I thought the Bills game was must-win. I thought the Colts game was must-win. I thought Denver and the Cowboys. I thought they were all must-win for the Chiefs. They went 1-3. What else do you want me to say? They went 1-3.
Yeah.
And now every single game is legit must-win, not like a metaphorical, hypothetical must-win like those were. These are must-wins, period.
You can't drop anymore.
It'll be fun to watch. It'll be fun to watch.
I will say I'm excited to see it because this is a situation we haven't seen the Chiefs in before. So,
never.
Love them or hate them, it's going to be interesting to see them with their backs are up against the wall, and like their backs are up against the wall, and they can't even help themselves right now. They have to get help from somebody else.
Yeah, and I we're not going to have this conversation today, but if it comes to the point where they miss the playoffs, man, we have a real long conversation about Mahomes, because that's just something that can't happen to you if you're an all-time elite quarterback. So let's not do it today, that conversation's coming if they miss the playoffs.
People are going to draw the comparisons. I know we won't have it, but I will say I think Brady went 16-0 at this point in his career when he was 29.
Oh yeah, this was the 2007 year. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Those are conversations for a later date. Let's move on to the game I was most excited for and really enjoyed because I hit 2 parlays with Joe Burrow. So thank you, Joe. You were awesome. Go into Baltimore. Coming off the injury. No T. Higgins. Jamar Chase coming back from spitting on Jalen Ramsey. Way to go, dude. And they win pretty convincingly against the Ravens. Now, we'll have Ravens conversations as well during this, but man, it was great to see I don't want to hear anything from J.J. McCarthy. That's 9. That's 9. That's the guy who I know.
Yeah, I don't actually have a ton about the game itself, but what I'll say is they're not out of it.
They should be.
They could win the division. How are they not out of it? They're 2 games back.
I mean, they're going to have to.
And they get to play Baltimore again.
Almost win out as well, but.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But they can win out, though.
They're 2 games out, and they have Baltimore again.
They have Baltimore in Cincinnati.
What?
They have Baltimore in Cincinnati, and then this is the finish to their schedule, all right? Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns. Now, historically, Joe Burrow never plays well against the Browns just because they have an incredible defense, but that should be a game you can win. So really the question mark is, can they beat the Bills this weekend? If they do, then we could be staring down a Bengals in the playoff situation.
And here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. If that happens, that means the Ravens are not in the playoffs. That's Lamar Jackson. There's a great chance Patrick Mahomes isn't in the playoffs, and the Bills look very gettable. I don't know.
Listen.
I don't know.
This is purely just a fan. Obviously, I want to see my guy Josh Allen do it. I would not be upset to see a Joe Burrow pull a miracle out of his butt and somehow
that would be
lead the Bengals to the Super Bowl. That would be insane. That would be insane. Man,
this AFC is wide open. This AFC is wide open. It's going to be to the point where we're going to get in the playoffs. I'm just going to – my pick to make the Super Bowl will just be the best quarterback. If it's Mahomes, it'll be Mahomes. If it's Allen, it'll be Allen. If it's Lamar or Burrow, it'll be them. Like that's where we're at with the AFC. It is wide slap open.
I'm loving it.
Wide open.
I'm loving it. This season has been insane for that reason.
It's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great.
All I'll say I'm just excited to see Joe Burrow out there. He looked healthy. He looked good. Things can only improve when they get T. Higgins back, so we'll see. Do you have anything on the Ravens? Because this might have been the worst game we've seen Lamar Jackson play in the regular season ever.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say about the Ravens is, Ben, I didn't know my own power. About 4 weeks ago, I came on here and I said, I don't know if it's possible for Lamar to be bad in the regular season. Since then, he has put on his worst stretch.
You have
of
your
football.
own commentator curse. That's what happened.
I mean, he has not played this bad. I'm going to say since maybe Little League, because he definitely didn't at Louisville. He hasn't so far in the NFL. I can't imagine he struggled in high school. So this is the worst he has played maybe in his whole life. And, man, it was ugly. Like, it was... Here's what I'll say about Lamar. Go back to a few years ago when, he hasn't had any down stretches the last 2 years. But you remember me having him in fantasy, and I would get so frustrated because he never scored touchdowns back in the day. He would get them down, and Devontae, whatever his name was, Devonta Freeman would have a 1-yard touchdown, or Latavius Murray, or whoever. When Lamar has bad games, it looks awful. There's very few people that look worse than him at his worst, and we're seeing it right now, man. I don't know what the answer is. I mean,
is he not?
Derrick Henry's out here getting 6 yards a carry.
I mean, I saw him run a few times, and he looked okay. Know. Is there something with an injury? I don't. That's the only explanation I've got.
There has to be.
That's the only thing I've got.
There has to be something. And here's the thing, man. If you're really clawing and fighting to come back to play a game, like let's say like Aaron Rodgers this week, I'll give you a pass for a bad game. You can't have a bad 3 games. Not when you're Lamar Jackson, not when you're an MVP, not when your team's fighting for a playoff game, not when you're playing a team who, despite Joe Burrow coming back, is not as good as you. I can't give you 3 games in a row. If you're not healthy, sit out. If you're going to be out there, play good football. And he's just not doing it. It's almost as simple as he's got to play better. It's almost that simple. But they did come out today and say they want to get Derrick Henry the ball more. Like I said, 10 carries, 60 yards and a touchdown, including a 30-yarder. And he had that 30-yard touchdown. He got 2 more touches the rest of the first half.
Yeah. And it wasn't.
What are you doing?
It wasn't a game script to where he just got scripted out. I mean, the Ravens defense, the Bengals were moving the ball well, but the Ravens defense held them to field goals the entire first half. They had 4 field goals in the first half. You're down 12-7. It wasn't they just jumped out to a huge lead. We had to throw the ball. No, you could easily have given him the ball more.
No. This struck me as one of those games where, and I've been on the field for these things, every time that, because Henry was starting to lean on him, right? After carry 5, 6, 7, he was starting to lean on their defense. I guarantee you, those linebackers, those DBs, every time Lamar dropped back to pass, they breathed a sigh of relief. They were like, thank goodness they're not giving this guy the ball, because he's starting to be really hard to tackle. And they just didn't give it to him, and this is what happened. And at the end of the day, Lamar's got to play better. Regardless of how much Derrick Henry gets the ball, Lamar's got to play better.
It felt like a playoff game for the Ravens. That's really what it felt like, where they go away from everything that they've built and everything that they are good at for no reason. That's what they do in the playoffs, and that's exactly what this felt like.
That being said, they have everything in front of them. They have an easy schedule. They're first in the division. It's all in front of them.
They control their own destiny.
Absolutely.
Okay. Speaking of controlling their own destiny, who's first in the NFC right now? I mean, you already said it, but
the
Chicago Bears go into
Unbelievable.
Go into Philadelphia and win pretty easily, 24-15. I mean, it's not even as close as the score said it was. I think the Eagles scored late. So we were talking about this in the group chat, and I kind of got the same feeling that I felt last week when we were talking about the Bears and about them being well. And we were talking very negatively about the Bears, and I still feel like we're talking negatively about the Bears because, you know, we talked about the easy schedule, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then they come into Philly against the number 2 seed in the league, go into their home stadium, beat them. And all I've heard is, oh, well, they beat an Eagles team that doesn't look very good right now. Can we give Chicago at least a little bit of props?
Oh, you've got to give him a ton of props as Jackson Dart is trying to die on the field again. You've got to give them a ton of props. They got to give them a ton of props. I mean, they're first in the NFC in a year where all year we've talked about how tough the NFC is, how good they are, how deep it is. They're first. They're 9-3. They just beat Philadelphia, the reigning Super Bowl champs, in their building, regardless of what Philadelphia looks like right now. I mean, they're on a 5-game win streak. I give them so much props for what they've accomplished. But that does not change the fact I don't know if they're good. And it goes back to what you're saying. I'm giving them props for the position they're in while still questioning how good they actually are.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I'm with you there. I was just kind of noticing that last week and in our chats, and I'm like, we're not giving Chicago any credit. We do have to get them credit, but I'm also with you in the same breath. Is like they also haven't beaten anybody that's good. I think we really need to have a different conversation this coming week. All right. If they go into, I don't care how bad. If they beat the Packers, I don't care how bad the Packers play or the Packers look. I don't care. If they win that game, we need to talk about them like they are a contender, a true contender. Can we make that deal? Can we make that agreement?
I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I will agree with that.
I don't care if Jordan Love throws
can
4
go out
picks,
there like
nothing. If they win that game, I don't care what it looks like.
Yeah. They're like, I'm looking at this. Caleb, $154, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Caleb can do that. But if they beat the Packers, I will believe they're at least good.
And the thing is,
I give them props for the position they're in, but they're plus 6 on the season. They're only plus 6 on the season.
They got beat like 50-7 in week 2.
Uh-oh. Patriots punt return touchdown.
They're gonna win this game.
Wow.
But also impressive
is
the offensive line for the Bears. That was the thing that impressed me the most. Is how easily, I mean, they cut through the Eagles defense like butter. They had 281 rushing yards.
Ran it down their throat.
Monungai and Swift both had almost 130 yards.
Say what you want. Ben Johnson, look, they have insane weapons in Detroit, yes. And you look at it and it's high flying and it's fun and it's all this. Ben Johnson, at the end of the day, wants to run it down your throat. It's fancy. It's quirky. We got motions. We got trick plays. We got all this. At the end of the day, the offense works when we can run it down your throat. And he likes 2 running backs. We've seen that in the past. And man, they did it. They pushed him around. 4 quarters, absolutely pushed him around. Didn't need Caleb to be good because they just said, you know what? If you're not going to stop this run, we're just going to keep doing it. And, you go for 250 or whatever it was, 260, whatever. And
I saw somebody complaining about Caleb.
Good for the Bears.
Caleb didn't have great stats against the Eagles. I'm like, dude, when you run for 281 yards, he could throw for 60. It doesn't matter. They win that game.
Yeah. Yeah, and he didn't lose it. He didn't lose the game. So, good for them.
On the Eagles side.
I'm excited about this week.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
You mentioned Jordan Love in the quarterbacks I don't know is good. This is why. I mean, you and I, everybody wants to put Jalen Hurts up there. This is why. This is what I'm talking about. Right here.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. Man.
Just ask A.J. Brown if Jalen Hurts is good.
Oh, A.J.'s happy right now. He doesn't care if they lost by 40.
Well, he's happy right
dude,
now, but...
Dude, I had a $130 and 2 tubs.
But go ask him if he's good. Go ask him if he's good. That's a different question than is he happy? I don't know, man. They're broken. They're broken. We saw this 2 years ago. Remember, I want to say they were 8-3 2 years ago, and they lost out, or maybe they were 9-3. They lost out, got bounced by the Buccaneers and Baker in the first round. There's a lot of similarities, man. A lot of similarities. It was unexplainable back then. It's almost unexplainable now, other than I saw today they're going to stick with the same OC. That's all I can think, man. Unless the offensive line is just so much worse, the only thing I can think is play calling, play design, whatever. Because
Saquon did not take that big a fall off.
He's not Josh Allen. Yeah, Jalen's not Josh Allen. He's not Patrick Mahomes. No. Good gosh, is he the 20th best quarterback in the league? I think he's better than that.
You think?
And that's what he's playing like. I mean, I don't know, man. They can't stay on the field. They just can't stay on the field. It's crazy.
No, I mean,
how many plays did they run?
Look at the play-by-play. Punt, field goal, punt, interception, touchdown, fumble, punt, touchdown.
It's our favorite game of the year. That's our favorite game with the Eagles. Every week, we can look and we can say, like, that. We say exactly that. Oh, look at these drives. And it's 6 drives in a row where they maybe pick up one first down.
They went 3 and out 4 times.
What in the world?
4 times, dude.
Crazy.
And then you're like, well,
They're
I can't
first
believe
in the league in 3 and out percentage.
I can't believe the Bears established a running game. I know how they did it.
Yeah. They're first in the league in 3 and out percentage. I know you're thinking, wouldn't that be the Titans? Wouldn't that be the Raiders? Wouldn't that be the Saints? Nope. It's the Eagles. They go 3 and out all the time. And that, honestly, I think that's the difference. Like, that is it. If they could just sustain drives, all these players would be having monster stat seasons and all this. They just don't have enough plays to do it. They flat out do not have enough plays to do it because they're never on the field.
I mean, the Bears quite literally almost had double time of possession. The Bears had 39 minutes, 18 seconds. The Eagles had 20 minutes, 42 seconds. Yeah. Their defense is gassed. That's why they almost ran for 300 yards.
The Eagles ran 51 plays, not including punts or kicks. Not including punts or kicks. The Eagles ran 51 plays. The Bears ran, let me do some quick math, 83 plays, not including punts or kicks. 51 to 83. I mean, that's crazy.
It's not a winning formula.
You're not going to win games, man. It's the NFL. Unless you are just throwing 60-yard touchdowns all the time, you're not going to win games when you're running that few plays.
Yeah, I mean, if you score touchdowns on 7 of those 51, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but they're not doing that. I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. There's a lot of smoke right now in Phillies land. Here's the predicament I'm in, Ben. And we got to go a little faster. We're only through like 4
I was just looking at this. Yeah.
Here's the predicament I'm in. Yeah, here's the predicament I'm in. I'm a huge Phillies fan. I've talked about that. People know that. So because I'm a huge Phillies fan, I follow all the Phillies insiders on Twitter. Well, guess what Phillies insiders are? They're also Eagles insiders. So I have all Eagles stuff all over my Twitter all the time. Drives me crazy, even though I can't stand the Eagles. But there is some smoke to the... Apparently, Nick Foles did some podcast and was breaking down some of the problems in the offense. Dude, they want him in the building. They are like, let's get Nick Foles in as a consultant. Let's get him calling plays. Let's get him designing stuff. Like, there's smoke to that fire right now. Eagles fans want some change. We'll see what they do. I don't know.
I think you have to make
I don't know what
change.
the answer is.
You can't stick with Patullo after. And I don't know if Patullo's the problem.
I don't know.
But something's got to change.
Dude, they said today, after a long weekend of discussions, they're sticking with him.
Okay.
If
they lose again. All right. I think we can move through.
Oh, I do have one more thing about this game.
Go ahead.
One more thing about this game. This week's You Still Playing. Remember that bit we were going to do?
Oh, yeah.
Devin Duvernay. Returning punts for the Bears. Devin Duvernay.
I forgot that name.
Yes. Former Texas Longhorn Devin Duvernay.
That's a good one.
Was returning punts for the Bears this week. You still playing?
Used to catch passes in Baltimore, I believe.
Not bad. Well, he played in Baltimore. He didn't catch a lot of passes, but he did play for the Ravens.
All right. We can. I see we're running. We took a long time for those. Granted, there's been more game. More,
and we should have. Those were
Sunday
big games.
Yeah, these were huge. Not huge games.
Let's go fast.
Falcons and Jets. I don't have a ton to say here. I only have Falcons things to say here.
I'll cede my time to you because I have nothing to say.
I mean, it's not simple. Like if Raheem Morris is not on the hot seat, I don't know who should be on the hot seat if it's not him. You have no excuse to lose. You have no excuse to lose this game. You can sit here and say, "Oh, well, Drake London was hurt." Well, guess what? The Jets don't have Garrett Wilson out there. Oh, well, we're on our backup quarterback, Kirk Cousins. Well, guess what? The Jets are also on their backup quarterback. Your running back is better. Your offensive line is better. Kirk Cousins is better than Tyrod Taylor. You're better at every single position. They traded Sauce Gardner. They traded Quinnen Williams. You have a great pass rush for the first time in like a decade in Atlanta. There is absolutely no excuse you should lose this game, and you still lose it. You find ways to lose the game. Raheem Morris should be fired. He should be fired. End of discussion.
Yeah, he does need to be on the hot seat. I will say that he's on the hot seat for sure. For sure.
Yeah. That's all I've got on this game.
Yep.
All right. Spiel over. 49ers, Browns. Again, I don't really have a lot to say here. The 49ers are better in every single way than the Browns, so they handle them pretty. I mean, maybe not on the defensive line, obviously, but they handle them pretty easily. You have anything here?
Did Garrett get any sacks in this game?
That's what I was just looking for.
Yeah, he got one.
That's the only thing we should do is is the record tracker for the Browns. Like, how many sacks did Myles Garrett get?
Yeah. He's breaking it for sure.
If you're looking for Shedeur Sanders content, this is your podcast. This is not your podcast. Go listen to somebody else.
This is the only podcast that doesn't do it. Listen to any other podcast. Listen to a podcast about baking. They're probably talking Shedeur. Okay?
Yeah. We're not talking about him. Next. Titans, Jags. Again, I don't have a lot here. The Titans completely suck.
So I got nothing about the game, but... Dude, the Jags are in first place?
Yeah.
They're in first place, outright.
Do they still... They play the Colts next week. Play the Colts. They play the Colts twice still.
Oh, this is awesome. Dude, this division is awesome. Jags are in first. Colts are right there behind them, and I don't think either one of those teams is the best in this division. I'm pumped about the finish to the AFC South. Yeah. I really am.
It's going to be must-watch TV the rest of the way. And I think...
Yes, because all these teams are super flawed, but they're all gritty and grind out wins and find a way.
They're all good.
And they're all good. Yeah, they're all good. That's exactly right. And they're all flawed. I love it. I'm excited about it.
None of these teams are superpowers, but none of them are bottom feeders either. This is the classic, like all these teams, you could probably rank between 7 and 15 in the NFL. And that's a really cool finish. So I'm with you there. I'm excited to see this play out. All right, the next in division game, Colts Texans. Dude, this was a big loss for the Colts, and obviously a huge win for the Texans. This was huge.
Yeah, let's talk Texans. Like, dude, they're dangerous. They're dangerous.
They're a team I don't want to
Stroud. If you watch the game, the stat sheet doesn't look good, and Stroud left a lot of plays out there. There were a lot of plays to be made that were not made. But at the end of the day, man, this team's good. They've got enough. They've got enough to, in a wide open AFC, if the Chiefs don't get in, there's no game that I think they just can't win. Like, I think if the Chiefs were there at Kansas City, we saw it last year, I just don't think they're winning that game.
No.
Anyone else at New England, they could beat New England in New England. Like, New England's been great. They could win that game. At Buffalo, maybe not. I would definitely pick Josh Allen in that game, even though Buffalo's flawed. Any other game, though? Do you think there's any other game the Texans couldn't win with that pass rush? No. They're scary,
I mean,
man. Like I said, if Stroud can be the 15th best quarterback, they're dangerous. If he can be the 8th, they might make the Super Bowl. Seriously. That's where I'm at with the Texans.
Yeah. Again, it's another reason we keep talking about this. It's going to be this division is much watched because of this. And that defense is
absolutely.
This is the difference between the Texans and the Browns. Like the Texans could easily be the Browns, but I want to at least give a little bit of credit to the Texans offense because they've got the weapons there. They do enough from the quarterback spot. We're going to have CJ Stroud talks in the offseason about do they give him the extension? Is it going to take another year? But even that aside, they do enough to where that defense can the defense in Cleveland can't win them games, but the Texans defense can.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot to like on this offense. Like, Woody Marks and Nick Chubb are fine. Are they great? No. They're league average, though. Like, you get league average running back play, and there's a lot to like in this receiving core. Nico's a legit one in the NFL. Is he an elite top-tier guy? No, but he's a legit one.
Jaden Higgins has really been impressive the past few weeks.
Jaden Higgins, like I said, he's the jump ball contested catch guy, and then they have Christian Kirk, who doesn't show up on the stat sheet. He actually had a few big plays like called back in this game, along with Jalen Noel. I mean, I'm really, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I'm really starting to like the Texans. I really am.
No, it's pretty clear. You're in on the Texans right now.
I'm in on the Texans, man.
And I don't blame you. You absolutely should be.
Yeah.
All right. The next game, we do not need to spend much time here. These are two teams that we do not want to talk about.
Well, we got to talk Colts. We need to talk Colts.
Oh, we did not talk Colts. I got too caught up in the Texans.
Colts.
Yeah, Colts.
You did.
Big loss.
Yeah. Colts, man.
This was huge.
Huge loss.
The loss of the Chiefs really stings right now. Really stings.
The loss to the Chiefs and the loss to the Steelers. They lost to the Steelers. And so you start to look at these wins, Ben. Broncos. Okay, great.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
After that,
I feel the Chargers is a good one too. The Chargers is a good one.
Chargers with no offensive linemen.
Yeah.
When the Chargers had nobody.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the list, man. That's the list at this point. And here's who's coming up. Jags twice. Seahawks, 49ers, Texans.
Good Lord.
Whew. How about those defenses?
That might be the worst.
How about those defenses?
That might be the worst schedule rest of the season for anybody, is this team's.
We said it last week. They are not a lock to make the playoffs.
No.
Not a lock at all.
They could lose every single one of these games and finish 9-8.
Yeah. And it didn't look to me in the game. Now, maybe they were doing scheme stuff I don't understand. It did not look to me in the game like the Texans were selling out completely to stop JT. Maybe they were. And you know, the stats don't look terrible for Daniel Jones. He just didn't make enough winning plays. I mean, when the final score is 20-16, okay, that's great, defensive game, whatever. You got to be big on third down, and you got to be big in the red zone. He was good in the red zone in the first half, and then it kind of went cold a little bit. And so, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they went 3 for 10 on third down. That's the difference. That's the difference.
That's the difference. You got to be able to convert some of those.
Yep. All right. Do we want to spend any time on Dolphins Saints or just move on completely?
No, the only thing we'll say is somehow the Dolphins have won 5 games. When did that happen?
Devon Achan's awesome.
Devon Achane is awesome, but when did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. We're running.
That's all I'll say.
Let's move on. All right, biggest game of the 1 o'clock window, probably biggest game of the day, honestly. Panthers versus Rams is not a game I would have expected to be a huge game. I saw this picture floating around Twitter, and it made me chuckle, and it's kind of legit. Is Bryce Young every Sunday gets up and has to make a decision, and he's sitting there sweating, deciding, Am I going to be Tom Brady today, or am I going to be J.J. McCarthy? There is no in between. He's either unbelievable or horrible. And today he was unbelievable.
I mean, this is... So I got a lot of Panthers fans that live around me. I'm in North Carolina. And so my wife's uncle, he's like a huge Panthers fan. And he's one of those guys that only watches the Panthers. He doesn't watch anything else. Panthers ain't playing, he ain't watching, right? He's one of those guys. But I texted him and I was like, dude, this is not an exaggeration to say, this is the biggest win for the Panthers in years. When's the last time they had a bigger win than this? Years. And I know the Bucks win to stay in first place in that division, but like, man,
they are nipping at the heels.
They could win the division. The Panthers. Panthers.
And I don't think this is a team that necessarily dominates, but they have winning qualities, such as a good running game, which is going to help you in the playoffs. Their defense is bend but don't break, kind of. So, I mean, I think it all hinges on Bryce Young.
To me, it all hinges on Canales. When they win, like this was a masterpiece by Canales.
That's true.
When they win, it is just that Green Bay game, masterpiece by Canales. He understands, look, man, there's one way we win this game. We got to execute exactly this way. And when they can do that, they win. And when they don't, like 2 weeks ago against the 49ers, I thought Canales was terrible and they got blown out, right? This is what it takes for them. And good for Bryce, good for him. I don't know. Are they going to make the playoffs? Probably not. Their only path is beating the Bucks. They're not making a wild card, I don't think. But good for them. And I'll tell you this, Ben, and Panthers fans, I'm sorry, nobody wants to hear this. This is the type of season that just muddies the water on the direction they want to take their team in the future. You have more Bryce Young questions right now than you did at the beginning of the year.
Because you got to pay him now.
At the beginning of the year, you were confident. Yeah, you were confident. Oh, he's not the guy. Now it's like,
if my gosh,
we're probably going to, we got to pick up his fifth-year option after this year, and then once he plays that out, are we going to be franchised? Is this a Kirk Cousins situation where we franchise tag him? And it muddies the waters, but hey, they're winning, and that's all they want. That's all they want is to win.
And right now they're in the hunt, so that's all. That's all they need to focus on right now. Is y'all actually have a chance?
That's all it is.
You actually have a chance right now.
Yeah, good for them.
On the Rams side, I don't feel like I have a ton. Congratulations to Matthew Stafford, by the way, for breaking the record for most consecutive touchdowns thrown without interception. He got the record, and then 2 of his next 3 passes were interceptions. One,
really?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
One wasn't his fault because it was a tip ball. The second one was the pick 6 where he just couldn't fit the throw in a window. Right. So I don't have a ton here. I still think they're the best team in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, they were coming off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game win streak. Yeah. They're 6 straight. Their games before this, 49ers, Seahawks, Bucks, win. You could almost see this coming. I mean, this is a classic look-ahead game. Not to say the Panthers are like a look-ahead team. I think they've probably been treated like that some this year, and it's bit teams. It bit Green Bay. It bit a couple others.
Yeah, I mean,
but
you caught a Panthers team that put it all together this week, and they were coming off 3 straight big games. So not surprising. I mean, and you're on the road. You still only lost, and you lost by 3 to a team that's motivated and not as bad as some people still think they are, if that makes sense.
Right. And West Coast team, 1 o'clock game, and you turn it over twice. One's a pick 6, and that's it. So, I've seen some people saying like almost that the odds flipped for MVP. Like Drake May almost overtook Matthew Stafford. I don't see that.
Come on now.
Yeah, I still think it's Stafford by a decent margin, but I mean, the Lions they don't finish with cupcakes. They got Arizona next week. You think that's a win, and then Detroit, Seattle, and then they finish well there with Falcons and Cardinals. But Detroit and Seattle still on that schedule, and that Seattle game will be able to lock up the division probably. And they got to be thinking right now, man, hey, we're not the 1 seed anymore. Like that's got to be what's on the ticket at this point. So
now you do like your odds still. I don't think Chicago holds it, but we'll see.
No.
Panthers, or not? Sorry, I don't say Panthers, Bucks. Bucks, Cardinals. Got a little dyslexic there. Bucks win a close one against the Cardinals. It's not. It's not as pretty as you would want it to be, but just take the win because the Bucks have been sliding hard. So I think they're happy just to walk out of there.
Yeah, I don't. It seems to me that the Bucks are too injured. That's what it looks like to me. I mean, I know they got Bucky back in this game, but
Chris Godwin finally played well. First time I've seen Chris Godwin look good in a while.
Yeah. You watch the game and it doesn't scream division winner to me. It just every week it just feels like they're trying to buy time. And I don't know if they can put it together, you know? Like I said, the Panthers may catch them. What does their schedule look like coming up? Tampa Bay. Let me look at this. They've got the Saints. Okay, you feel Saints Falcons. You feel great.
Back-to-back wins.
Saints Falcons Dolphins. So you got Saints Falcons Dolphins. You need to go 3-0 there, and then split with the Panthers, and you're fine. So I mean that's very doable. Very doable.
I still think they
just hope they get healthy in time for the playoffs.
I still think they got the. Yeah. Well, I don't know how their offensive line. I know they've had a lot of injuries on the offensive line. That one's the question to me, because I don't know if Mike Evans is coming back. He's probably not coming back. So Chris Godwin's back now. Bucky Irving's back. That's it. The help is here now. The help that was on the way is here.
McMillan, it should be back.
Is he going to be back?
McMillan's coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe next week.
Okay, well that'll be help. That'll be good. Maybe that'll be able to free up Igbuka and Godwin finally. So, your help is pretty much back. Your offensive line, I don't know. I'm not as well versed as the injuries there, so we'll see. Maybe there's help coming back there, which would be big. But I think this is what they're going to have to work with. I don't have anything on the Cardinals side. Do you?
No.
Let's move on.
No.
Okay. We got to go fast. Vikings, Seahawks. Seahawks just manhandle a completely undermanned team. That's it.
Yeah. Seahawks side, I don't have much. I mean, they just dominated them. Darnold, the stat sheet doesn't look great. Doesn't matter. It never mattered.
I mean, I'll give props to...
If it would have been closer, he would have played better.
Props to Minnesota's defense. Like, Minnesota's defense played really, really well, but Minnesota's offense was just so unbelievably bad that it didn't matter.
Yeah. If Darnold needed to have played better, he would have played a little better, but
they would have forced the ball to JSN a few more times. They would have done something.
Yeah. So good for Seattle. The Minnesota side, all I'll say about this game, and what's the gentleman who played quarterback? What's his name?
Max Brosmer.
All I'll say about this is it's a really hard thing to do. Like, we get so caught up in, this guy played terrible, this guy's trash, and we see all these things on the internet like, look, and people are tweeting about how bad this player is. This is what it looks like when a guy who's not an NFL caliber player plays in the NFL. That's what it looks like. Like, it's not easy what these guys do every Sunday, and every now and then we get to see a guy who's not like a real NFL player play, and this is what it looks like.
Makes one of the worst plays of all time.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah. I feel bad for Justin Jefferson.
Oh, my goodness, Yeah.
JJ requesting a trade in the offseason is going to hit like crack, dude.
He might. I mean, he definitely could.
If they don't bring in...
You can't trade him if you're them.
If they don't bring in somebody, and it's JJ McCarthy moving forward, I think Jefferson is going to ask out for sure.
Yeah.
We'll see.
They don't have to trade him, but Who knows?
We'll see. There'll be Kyler talks, and we'll have some Kyler takes down the road. Chargers.
Yeah, we will.
Chargers, Raiders. Again, not a ton here. Only thing I'll say on the Chargers side, I mean, obviously they get a good win. They run the ball really well. Kamani Vidal looks great. Amarian Hampton is close to returning. Justin Herbert is a tough dude, man. He doesn't get talked about enough as one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league. He gets banged up a lot and plays through it. And he's really getting banged up behind this offensive line.
Yeah, this is the worry, man. They've invested heavily through the draft in their offensive line, and they're not there. They're not healthy. And anytime you see a young quarterback like this, you wince when he's standing behind this offensive line and getting beat up and taking shots that he shouldn't be taking. But he's toughing through, and they are definitely in the mix.
And he has to take those shots right now because, for that reason you just said, they're in the mix.
They're in the mix.
He can't back down right now.
I think if they lose to the Eagles next week, I think they're going to miss the playoffs. Just based on injuries, not based on Herbert and he's going to fall. Nothing like that. It's just injuries and the people chasing them down in the AFC. They really need to beat the Eagles, because if they lose to the Eagles, then they got the Chiefs, Cowboys, Texans, Broncos. Come on now. None of those are easy.
Yeah.
None of these games are easy. So they really need this one against Philly.
Yeah, they do. For sure. I hate it because Herbert's one of my favorite players, and I want to see him succeed, and I know he's good. I think he's good. And I think everybody's kind of seeing him more through that light this year, but it's just going to be so hard behind this line. I don't think any quarterback in the league can succeed behind this line right now. They're doing the best they can with what they got.
No.
All right. No. Bills, Steelers. I was worried about the Bills through the first half of this game, but they pull through. They do well. I mean, they dominate the second half pretty much all the way. Congrats to Josh Allen, by the way. My boy passing Cam Newton for the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback of all time, and he's 29.
Dude,
he might put that record out of reach. He might put it out of reach by the time he retires.
Yeah, I mean, with the way the NFL is going, there's always going to be quarterbacks that score rushing touchdowns. But I saw Schefter tweeted that, and I kind of barely saw it, and I was kind of closing out the app when I saw it, and I had to pull it back up to make sure that wasn't a typo. Like, did I say 75 rushing touchdowns?
Yeah.
75? I mean, I think Derrick Henry's around 120 or something?
Yeah.
And that's crazy how many touchdowns that is. I couldn't believe it. So, I mean, my gosh. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That's all. The Bills are still very flawed. I do not trust their pass catchers whatsoever. They do not have a single guy they can trust right now. But they're able to. Josh figures out a way to win games, and James Cook and the running game really looked good against the Steelers. 249 rushing yards. My gosh. Do we need to have a Mike Tomlin conversation? Because it's happening all over, everywhere. Everybody's talking to Mike Tomlin.
Man, I've thought he may need a change of scenery for a couple years. He stuck around, and I don't know if it's him. I wouldn't say it's him. It's just, it's a mixture of things.
If he leaves, he'll have a job the next day.
It's Aaron. It's
the next day.
Yeah. That's not what I'm worried about. But I'm talking about just where this team's at right now. It's him. It's Aaron. It's the defense underperforming. It's so many things, and I don't know. I think they've had their chances. That loss to the Bengals that they had was huge when it was Flacco, and I think they've missed too many opportunities. With the teams that are surrounding them in the AFC, I don't think they're as good as any of them.
No. I do not think this is a playoff team that we're looking at. And yeah, no. I do think as great, and I'm not saying this is a slight to Mike Tomlin or anything, but the fact that he's never had a losing season there, but they also haven't had many, especially in recent years, outstanding seasons. So that level of mediocrity every single year has sort of led us, like, they never have a draft pick to get an elite guy or a quarterback or a true difference maker. So they're always just in the middle. And you never, I mean,
that's the
say this
opposite of what I want as a fan.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I would either want to be in the playoffs or I want a top 3 pick. I don't want pick 16 every year.
No, this is the opposite. I mean, who would you rather be the past 2 years? The Steelers, who have a chance to make the playoffs this year, made it last year and got bounced early, or Washington, who made the NFC Championship game last year and has a shot at a top 5 pick this year? Who would you rather be?
I'd rather be Washington.
As a fan.
I mean, it sounds crazy.
You go back, you go back any farther than 2 years, literally any period of time, and you're taking the Steelers. But my point is, right here where we're at right now, this is what I'd rather have as a fan.
I was going to say the same thing for, like, the Bears. I mean, do not get me wrong. I'm not saying anything organizationally, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, they're way better. But the Bears have, like, at least during the offseason, you have something exciting, like, oh, shoot, who are we going to get at pick 2 or something like that? Versus the Steelers, you're sitting there, okay, what linebacker are we going to take at pick 15?
And it's not just that. It's that, yeah, you have that. You have pick 15, you have pick 16, 17, or whatever. Also, either we're going to go 9-8 and miss the playoffs, or we're going to sneak into the playoffs and lose by 28 points in round 1. Like, there's not any hope of winning a playoff game or making a run or anything like that.
They've won a playoff game since 2016.
It's just so vanilla and,
almost a decade. And you could say the same thing about a lot of teams that have done that, but for a team that's been so historically good and for a coach who is as good as we all believe Mike Tomlin is, something's got to change.
Yeah.
Something's got to change.
Yep.
All right. We've gone a little bit long this episode. We got one more. Broncos. I'll be honest, I didn't watch much of this game because I thought it was going to be really, really ugly. Obviously, when things were going crazy, I turned it on and watched the entire fourth quarter. But Broncos win in overtime, barely, because the Washington fails a 2-point, 27-26. Are the Broncos good?
Yep. Yeah, they are. Their defense is really good. And I think they probably took Washington a little lightly, I think. And I think Kingsbury did a good job. But they're good. I do not think this team can compete for or win a Super Bowl or anything like that. But they got a really good chance at the 1 seed. They got a good chance at, certainly they're going to win the division. Got a really good chance at the 1 seed, and we'll see. But I don't trust them in the playoffs.
No. Nah, that's kind of where I'm at with them. Like, I just, their offense is so vanilla that if somebody cracks their defense, they got no shot. No shot.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything on the Washington side. It was nice seeing Terry McLaurin back out there. He looked good, but it's just not Washington's year, and you know that, especially with Jaden. I'm a little worried that they bring Jaden back, honestly. Yeah. I don't even want him to play him this year. I don't know where you're at with that. Just let him sit.
They're going to bring him back. I'm okay. I'm okay with them bringing him back if he's healthy. Like, if he's 95%, I don't want to see him. But if he's 100%, yeah, bring him back. Let him play. This was a perfect game for Washington. We showed some fight, send it to overtime, and we still get that loss we need. Washington, I'm not going to do it all right now. It is very important for them to get a top 3 pick if we can get it.
Yeah.
We can have that conversation on a day where we have another or have more time. But great game, showed fight, still get that loss we need. So that was great.
Yeah. All right, I think that's awesome week. Great place to end it. Patriots are up 17-7 right now against the Giants. Nothing really worrisome there. You got anything else to add? Next week is exciting. There's a few games I'm really excited for. Where are you at? I've got the main one I want to see. Main one I'm excited to see. I want to see Bills Bengals. This is a lot of my favorite players.
So Bills Bengals We also have week 14 is consequential, man. We got Packers, Bears. We got
Cowboys,
Texans,
Lions is a good one.
Chiefs, Cowboys, Lions. It is a consequential week, man. Eagles, Chargers. That one's consequential. Like week 14 matters, dude. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and some fantasy playoffs are starting. We've got a few that are going early. If you got like a 2-week champion or something, so a lot of stuff happening this week. All right. Yep. Well, I think that'll about wrap it. Let us know what you think. If you disagree with us or hate everything we're saying, just let us know, and we probably won't answer you. Yep. That's all we got. We'll see you next time.